InsideThunder.com presents the Thunder Game Report.
Hi, it's Jeremy Griffin with InsideThunder.com, and I'm here with Randy Renner, who you all know. And we've just finished up the season with the Thunder. They lost in Game 6 to the San Antonio Spurs, Western Conference Finals. Really a good run for them this year, considering the adversity that they had to deal with. But my question to you, Randy, you've been covering the team since they've been here, moving from Seattle. And the expectations each year have increased and increased. And really since they made that playoff run where they went to the finals a couple years ago. Last year, Russell Westbrook sidelined in the first round, playing against the Rockets, of course. Struggled through, Oklahoma City loses it in the second round to Memphis without Russell. Come back this year, Russell's expected to play, be ready to go, has 2 more knee surgeries. And so they struggled through all of that. But by the time we got to the end of the season, the expectations were high that we were going to make another finals run. So obviously they didn't do that. Today we have exit interviews. Now you've covered all of these exit interviews and over the last several seasons. How did this year differ from previous years?
The comedy of Steven Adams. We haven't had Steven Adams before, and Steven Adams was by far the funniest part of the exit interviews, and we have some of that audio that we'll be sharing with you. And but aside from that, I thought the guys were all very serious and really focused in on what they need to work on. And so a lot of that it would appear to be the mental approach to the game, to be able to have that laser focus in on some of the little details that they have to improve upon. And a lot of that is due to the outstanding coaching of big man coach Mark Bryant, who's walking into the facility even as we speak. But, he's not even ready to go on vacation. So they're still here working. The coaches are still working. And a lot of the players have said they're going to stay here in Oklahoma City to continue to work to try and get better as we move forward.
Yeah. Well, and overall, I think the expectations for the city, really, you can't really look at this season and feel like it was a bad season, all things considered.
Well, the problem is the success that this team had early on. The first season, of course, here they only won 23 games. And I think a lot of people kind of got it in their heads that, okay, we're going to have a couple of years here where things aren't going to go real good. And, well, it turns out that next season they won 50 and were in the playoffs. And then the second year they made it all the way to the NBA Finals. And all of a sudden people got a little spoiled and started thinking, all right, cool, we're in the finals for every year for the next decade. And that's just not the way it works. And some of these players have really understood now that there is a lot of work that has to be done. This is not very easy. It's not as easy as it looked. It may not be as easy as perhaps it felt to them a couple of years ago. And they realize now that they really have to focus in on some of these things. We heard Kendrick Perkins talk about the mental approach to the game, where you cannot take a play off, much less a game off. He was talking about it doesn't matter if it's a Monday night in January against Milwaukee or somebody. You got to bring it with the same intensity that you would in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, for instance. And I think everybody now is understanding that and buying into it.
Well, now we didn't get all of these exit interviews. We didn't get them on video, but we did get them recorded on audio. There's a lot said today, so we can find all that on your blog. At InsideThunder.com. We're going to break those down into a couple blog posts. But, you talk about Steven Adams. And really, I think for most people, Steven Adams got to be considered the steal of the draft this last year because this guy has developed so quickly. And I think my favorite thing about Steven Adams is his personality. There's no doubt that he's a great player, but talking to him in the locker room, talking to him in any occasion has been awesome.
Well, and that personality really showed today as we record this on Monday. Steven Adams and some of the other younger guys talked to the media today, and Steven Adams was just absolutely hilarious. You need to listen to what he had to say or read the blog when he talks about some of his moments in the NBA when he kind of first realized that, oh, wow, I'm not a freshman at Pitt anymore, and kind of the welcome to the NBA moment. These guys are really serious. This is going to be a little tough. Some of those kinds of things. The stories that he told were just absolutely fascinating, not to mention hilarious. So give a listen to that especially.
That's fantastic. Well, as we continue this offseason, we've got the draft coming up. We've got Summer League, and we should have a lot of great stuff.
Right. Several Thunder players, including Steven Adams and Jeremy Lamb and Perry Jones, who we'll all talk to today, will be at Summer League, as will some others. And, of course, the draft picks. Right now, the Thunder have 2. We'll see if that holds true on draft night or if Sam Presti does some wheeling and dealing, as he normally does at some point. Those guys will be at Summer League. We'll have complete coverage of that. Draft, of course, coming up later this month. We'll get into all of that. And then, before you know it, it'll be time for training camp to start.
And I am very much looking forward to that. Listen, we're going to write a lot of blogs this year. One of the things that we're going to do, and I'm looking forward to this, is talk about the offseason and maybe the potential changes coming for the Thunder. Randy and I are going to have some predictions, and we're not going to agree on a lot of things. And so I think this time we might actually disagree. So you might want to check that out. Some changes I think we're going to make, not only to some players that are there's some that are obvious changes or challenges, I should say, maybe. But I think we might see some shakeup in the leadership as well. So you want to check that out here in the next week or so.
Whoa.
I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. Yeah, some changes there.
I wonder what he means by that.
This is where he disagrees. Well, maybe he won't disagree. We'll see. But make sure and check that out. Also, we'll be doing all sorts of things in the offseason with the coverage of the draft, the Summer League, but also, the Thunder players that are here in town. They do a lot of great things for the community. We're going to be there as well and just keep you up to speed. You can check all that stuff out at InsideThunder.com. Every day we'll have something good for you. Photo galleries will be up there, things like that. And just one more reminder, I'm Jeremy Griffin. This is Randy Renner. And again, check us out every day at InsideThunder.com.